Is there a supernatural dimension? A world beyond the one we know? Is there life after death? Do angels exist? Can our dreams contain messages from heaven? Can we tap into ancient secrets of the supernatural? Are healing miracles real? Sid Roth has spent over 35 years researching the strange world of the supernatural. Join Sid for this edition of It's Supernatural.
Hello, Sid Roth here. Welcome to my world, where it's naturally supernatural. My guest, Rabbi Jonathan Cahn, has really taken the world by storm because God has chosen him to reveal patterns and signs and blood moons and jubilees and things that God has put in the Bible so that his children would not be caught unawares. He tells me there is more to it that God has revealed that he's never revealed publicly. Would you like to hear what he's about to tell us? You know, the last time I had Rabbi Jonathan Cahn on the show, I don't think he had a clue what was in store for his life. Jonathan, I am just so excited that God had you on our show before anyone ever heard of you.
well.
For your mother. No.
My mother. Yeah, it was the Lord that the very first thing I ever did was It's Supernatural. Actually, before The Harbinger came out. And that was what the Lord chose to launch everything.
Well, I'm very grateful, and I believe that there is some insight that God wants you to release on this show. For those that aren't familiar with the Harbinger, Harbinger's a word means warning, signs, and there were 9 harbingers that happened to ancient Israel, and Jonathan showed that they not only have happened here in the United States, but they're still happening. And then tell me about the Shemitah. What is that word? What's the origin of it?
Yeah, the mystery of the Shemitah really lies behind everything from the rise and fall of the economy, the collapse of Wall Street, the rise and fall of nations. I mean, affecting our lives, has affected it, I believe will affect. And this is an ancient mystery from Sinai, that God gave this to Israel. We know about the 7-day Sabbath,
right.
But people don't know, many of them, that every 7th year was a Sabbath year called the Shemitah. That's what the Shemitah is. And for the entire year, there was no sowing, no reaping, no plowing. The land rests. And on the last day, something unique happens. On the last day of the Shemitah, it's called Elul 29, all the nation's debts are wiped out, all its credit is wiped out, the financial cleaning of the slate, total financial nullification. Now, on that day, Elul 29, now this is supposed to be a blessing.
Yeah, in fact, I was telling you at dinner last night that when I knew about it from reading the scriptures or being a Jew, I never even thought of the negativity. I thought that it was just a blessing.
Yeah, well, that's the way that, it is a blessing when you follow God. But when Israel turned away from God, the warning of the Shemitah was, if you turn away, this is going to turn from a blessing to a judgment. So here's the big question is, could this still be in effect? Or could this 7-year pattern that God wove there, could it still be in effect? And at times, can it be a sign warning a nation or civilization in danger of judgment? And the answer is yes.
Okay, well, the only way we're going to really get an answer to that question is let's look at history. Let's look at the last 7-year cycles, or the last 7 Shemitahs. What can we learn from that?
Quite a lot. First of all, in the last 40 years, there have been 5 major financial collapses, long-term collapses. Wall Street reaches its peak and then goes down. The years are 1973, 1980, 87, 2000, and 2007. Every single one of them happens on a 7-year cycle from the one before the one after. Not just that, every single one of them happens during the year of the Shemitah.
We can't call that coincidence.
It gets even more than that. I mean, it happens in the month September. That's when it collapses. That's 7 years to the month of 9/11. It happens the second week of September. That's the week of 9/11. In fact, when America is commemorating 9/11, the second shaking is being set in motion on Wall Street to the greatest collapse in history. This is September 29, 2008. Greatest stock market wiping out financial accounts ever to this day. So the two greatest collapses to those days each happened on the day, the same biblical day, the day that God happened to appoint, warning of God, and they happen exactly 7 biblical years apart, down to the day, the hour, the minute, the second, the closing bell. Only the hand of God could do that.
Okay, this begs the question. Tell me about the 7th Shemitah.
Okay, this is the 7th Shemitah is this. It's not just a 7-year cycle. Every 7th Shemitah ushered in a super Shemitah, which is we call the Jubilee. The next 7th Shemitah is the year 2015, and the Shemitah, this period of the Jubilee, begins September 2015 to September 2016. Now, not dogmatic what God has to do, but if it follows the pattern, each time it means war in the Middle East, major war, concerning Israel, and ending up with a major prophetic end-time restoration, beginning on Yom Kippur. That's when it starts.
Yeah, you know, there are so many things that he's saying right now that your mind is probably spinning like my mind is. But I want to know, at this particular Shemitah year, what's been going on as prophetic signs. I want to know why Wall Street has come up with a 7-year cycle, knowing nothing about the Shemitah, and Wall Street people are calling Jonathan when they found out that he has it from the Bible, they have it from their numbers. I want to get these answers. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back to It's Supernatural.
Log on to sidroth.org/fall feasts and find out what Sid Roth has to share about the biblical fall feasts, the Shemitah, and the coming 4th blood moon. Is this a time to be fearful? Some say that there is a great time of shaking coming. Sid Roth shares that fear tolerated is faith contaminated. Find out how this season can be an appointed time, an open portal to access God and experience major breakthrough. Get ready. The best is yet to come.
We now return to It's Supernatural.
This is absolutely fascinating to me. That here Wall Street knows nothing about a word Shemitah. In fact, most believers never heard of that word. But it's in the Bible. It's the Hebrew word. By the way, the word Shemitah, you said something that I've never seen before. One of the meanings of the Hebrew word Shemitah means fall.
Yeah. What it's taken as the meaning release, but it actually means not only release, it means the fall